On this week's episode of Whitetail Cribs, we're headed to northern Ohio to visit Doug Clark's trophy room. Doug is a maintenance supervisor that eats, sleeps, and breathes whitetails. Come with us as we look at his deer hunting video collection and 190-inch whitetail buck. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Whitetail Cribs.
The Exodus team is traveling around the United States to take a look inside the trophy rooms of some of the most interesting whitetail hunters in the country. From giant bucks, unique racks, and riveting stories, welcome to Whitetail Cribs.
Hey, welcome to my house. I'm Doug.
I'm Deb.
Exodus Trail Cams and Whitetail Cribs is in the house today. Come on in my kitchen. Got to start with the fridge. I'm a little OCD. Whoops, I got one out of place, but I like to have everything all lined up. I used to work in a grocery store, so a little OCD. Like to keep things all straight and narrow, and that's crooked, so it's bugging me.
And anytime you come to our home, you'll always find a full bowl of Reese cups.
Let's go outside. Out to the deck. Out here, got a big deck for summer. We're in the middle of the woods where I love to be. Get turkey, deer, coyote, everything down in here. Set out here, I've cookouts, got the hot tub after a cold day of hunting, get warm, relax. Got the deer feeder out there. Let's go back in, I'll show you some more. Over here, got a unique deer I killed, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, but he had such a cool rack. He's all bent here and he had drop tines starting. They're not really long drop tines, but he had a bunch of stuff coming off the back. Shot him at 20 yards. This deer, when I shot him, I had actually got where you should at 20 yards, right behind the shoulder, but the arrow went in and hit the rib cage on the other side and come out by his groin, which he scared me to death because when it comes out by the groin, the guts come out with it and there was no blood trail. So I ended up waiting till the next day. I ended up finding him right away. He had just went like 60 yards, fell over, and I got the recovery on film. I kind of first attempt of getting a recovery on tape. Over here, this deer means so much to me. I hunted him for a couple years. I think he's a 156-inch deer too. It was November 7th, and I shot him 26 yards, and I shot him a little back, and I knew it was a liver shot. So I waited 6 hours before I even went looking for him. A lot of blood, and I ended up jumping him up. And I jumped him up 3 times. I did end up, he was really sick. I did get him that day, but note to self and you guys out there, if you make the liver shot, man, give him 12 hours or overnight, because everything you hear on TV, wait. Because I got that deer, but it was by the grace of God I got him that same day, because I did jump him up. This deer here, I hunted him, I got him 2 years ago. I got his daddy upstairs, which I'm gonna show you in a little bit, but I literally had this deer on trail camera, and I had him with 3 other deer. He 148 inch, he's a real nice wide deer, and he was one of the 3 that if any one of them came in, I had them all over trail cameras, trying to narrow in where they were at, where they're doing. And luckily, October 23rd in the evening, I was hunting a creek, and he went back in the bedding area following a doe, and then he actually come back out, was out in the field in front of me about 35 yards. I shot him and he ran 60 yards and fell over dead. It was an awesome night. Cool deer, I love him, I love the mount. And then this deer, shot on the same farm, all 3 of these. This deer was my first self-filmed deer. I was all over him, scouting summer, cameras. watched him go in a bedding area that morning. There was 2 ways out, and I couldn't hunt the one I wanted to because of the wind. Luckily, he came out from the other one. He actually did a buck roar, was back in there with some does and stuff, and come out and walked, and I have it on self-camera. I self-filmed killing him, which was really cool. So that deer I'm really proud of. Got him on film. Let's go back to the bedroom. The bedroom with my main workbench or bed. I like my workbench. In here, I just love this with the flag. I've got my, you should sleep with your baby all the time. I got my 9mm with the laser. Nice little added thing if somebody wants to decide to come in. I've got the AR, and then I've got a machete, military grade machete there, that if those don't do it, I can finish you off with that, so. And here's my bathroom. Soak in the tub, do your business. Got the poop spray. If you come in and you're visiting and you got shitty poop, then make sure you spray. Let's go to the garage. Out here, this is a display I'm building, which I'll show you more later, you'll understand it. This is for the deer I got this year. It's gonna be a full body mount deer. I made this display. There'll be a bunch of stuff when you see the other ones that you'll see that I'll add to that and make it. I'm gonna have him standing and looking to the left, that it'll be a really cool display. Over here, got all my man tools. I grew up on a farm. I'm a maintenance supervisor, been in maintenance. Always like fabricating, making stuff, wood, steel, whatever it is. Hands-on guy. I got my Jeep, my deer toter, I guess you could say. A lot of things I've created for deer hunting that try to make it easier for me. This is what I call a 3D caddy nothing like it on the market, that you can move your deer around. You can make him quartering to you, quartering away, move yardage, put him behind a tree and make it more realistic for deer hunting, and you don't have to leave your target set outside. This is another thing I made years ago, trail camera holder. There's a lot of different versions of it out there now, but you can tilt it. I made that years ago where you don't have a tree to put a camera on. It's just kind of a self-invented thing before they were on the market. Another cart I made to haul a decoy in, keep them together because they're noisy. Haul tree stands in. Then this is my baby, my Harley. I like riding it in the summer, blow off the stink, have a great time. This here is an old climbing tree stand I don't use anymore. I've got another tree stand upstairs. It's my first tree stand I don't use anymore. It's just kind of a memory thing. You know, blinds, steps, the usual garage stuff. Come on upstairs. Up here, I keep the old binocs by every window around here if I can. There's a big ravine and turkey and deer all the time, so never know when you're gonna need him, see how big he is. This is an old can that has a lot of memories and a lot of things. I keep my old hunting license, and my brother's hunting license are in here, and receipts from bows I bought over the years. Just something that for some reason has stuck around and held the stuff, and kind of a meaningful can. I'm on in my office. In my office here, I got small deer I've shot, proud of them just like I am all the other ones. Deer I've grew up on a farm. Some of these are from that farm. I got to go back and hunt. My desk, got my turkey call. You know, we all have to practice every now and then. And then this here is something, that display I showed you downstairs. I actually got a leaf with some of the blood from the deer I killed this year that's gonna be on that display. A rock with some blood. Just little anal things like that I like to put in the display. I got my bow. I've shot Hoyt for years, all different kinds. This is my carbon Hoyt. It's a few years old, but I've killed many deer. I like to put my feathers. This is like a windicator. This is a cool factor, plus it kind of hides you whenever you full draw your bow on a deer. Kind of hide your face a little bit, so it's got a lot of different cool factors to it. That's the Hoyt, the main machine. This is my grandpa, 1933. He was a deer hunter and he did his own taxidermy work. So this picture means a lot to me. It's an old picture, and my grandpa, I think that's where I got it from. This picture here is me with Dan Fitzgerald hunting in Tennessee, boar hunting. I met him at the Deer and Turkey Show one year, and him and I kind of hit it off. Dan Fitzgerald means a lot to me. He was one of the first guys to ever videotape deer hunting before all the Outdoor Channel and YouTube stuff was there. He was really passionate about it, really cool. I worked for him for a little bit, so I had Doug Clark, my Dan Fitzgerald badge. And then this picture means the world to me too. This is my grandson, Cale. He lives in Missouri, and he came up here one year, and I got to hunt with him, and luckily this buck, really nice 8-point, came out. He shot him with the crossbow with me in the tree stand with him. The deer went 30 yards and fell over. It was such a cool night. He was so excited. It was so something that, he's 16 now, or gonna be in June, and to go, you can't relive that. And to have that memory with my grandson is just amazing to me. I got a crossbow I do use too. I'm not too proud. All you crossbow haters don't get on me, but I like using the new badass crossbows. This is the skull from the hog hunt with Dan Fitzgerald, another picture of my grandson with that deer. And then, of course, you guys need to go represent and get some trail cameras from Exodus. In here, this room, and this means a lot to me in here, there's a lot of memories, a lot of things to go over here. Dan Fitzgerald, like I told you, I met him. He had a kick in hand video. We went hog hunting in Tennessee. I'm literally in that video, and he had a Whitetail magazine he did, and I went up to his deer camp in Michigan and was in that with him. Some of the very first deer hunting videos that people will never see is Noel Feathers and Dan Fitzgerald or Bob Folkrod. And Dan Fitzgerald did a passing through video, which was like state of the art at that time. There was nothing else out there like it. He got the arrow passing through a deer on the other side. Alex Rutledge, I know him, I've been to his house. He's a really cool guy, got to meet him. The Drury guys, they've been part of my hunting world and trying to learn and do and watch. I probably have 300 videos, DVDs of just trying to self-learn how to do things, get better. I always liked, everybody says, why you watch so much deer hunting? It's like, every deer, when you watch coming to these cameras, if you watch the body language of that deer, every one of them is different. And you can learn something by, is the deer picking you out, or, you know, is he skittish? Is he getting ready to run? So that's why I watch them all, to see and learn. This is a rattling thing I bought one year. It's really cool. It's lifelike. It's as good as horns. I really love using that thing. Vanilla Killa was Dan Fitzgerald's signature stuff. It smelled like vanilla. It was an attractant that he had. So that's pretty much my video collection. Let's go out here in my closet. I'll show you my hunting clothes. Of course, everybody should have a ghillie suit, hunting off the ground. I mean, it's so cool and such a different way to hunt. I've always hunted out of tree stands, but I started using a ghillie suit. It's really cool to hunt out. I got the turkey vest, my bow holder when I always want to rest my bow. I like to stand a lot when I compound bow hunt. And my safety vest, always wear your safety vest, hunter specialty. Over here, I got something a lot of people don't have. This is the first rendition of Realtree camo, which was the first hunting outfit I ever wore. So I've always been a Realtree guy. For all you guys out there, I love Realtree, and I hope I could still get in that, but it's my first hunting outfit. Then over here, this deer doesn't score. I don't even know what the score was on him, but he was first day of shotgun season. I shot him at 8 o'clock in the morning, 40 yards, he fell over. This deer means a lot to me because my grandpa was still alive at the time, and I've got a picture of him on the carrier on the back of my truck, and my grandpa was standing beside it, so I'll always remember that deer with that experience. This deer was my son, Chris. His first deer, believe it or not, he shot it with a 20 gauge shotgun. He was proud. I was so proud that day. 156-inch deer. I know what the score is on this one. Just an awesome animal. It was great. He didn't go anywhere. This here is my very first tree stand I ever hunted with years ago, and my first bow. I mean, the bows have come so many, the old sights, and it sounds like a 2x4 hitting a tree when it goes off, but that's my first bow, and to display it, brought a tree in the house and put up a tree and a tree stand. Not many people have a tree in their house, but I just think it gives it such a cool look with the deer head and everything here. I'm really proud of that. This deer, I was hunting this particular deer. I bow killed him 15 yards. He probably ran 60 yards and fell over. He beat me a couple times, but then I got him. This was shown on Reggie Lloyd's property, and the Whitetail Freaks was Don Kitsky's show. I am a whitetail freak, I think. This deer, another deer, the last 4 deer I've killed, I literally scout them, trail camera, narrow it down, get in a tree stand, and then see where they're coming out, try to go closer. And I beat this deer at his own game. He busted me a couple times, but I ended up getting him 30 yards with my bow. He thought I was in a tree stand that he busted me in, and I killed him 30 yards. And these displays that you see, I got tired of just hanging my deer on the wall. So this was my own creation. I didn't copy it from anybody. You go to Cabela's or wherever, you see how they mount their deer, and it looks so cool. So I brought it to home. I was in a tree stand and saw some old fence posts and stuff, and I come up with this idea of, it just gives them such a cool, realistic look, and I've got several renditions. They're like deer head. No two are the same, so you can make them whatever you want. I hope somebody gets a good idea from this. This was the actual first one I ever made. Another deer I killed on the same farm as the 2 down there above the fireplace. Just 2 posts. I actually had a deer hanging here one time and one up there. This deer, I filmed this deer. I don't know, hours. I could pretty much peg this deer, and he's not a huge deer, but it meant so much to me because I had history with him and I figured out exactly where he was bedded, and when season came in, I busted him. So that deer means a lot. This is the very first deer I ever killed, actually. And I didn't even know anything at the time, when back in the day, that they shed their horns, and I found this horn and ended up killing the deer the next year. I mean, this is the exact same deer. He just grew another point and broke it off, but this got ate off by the squirrels, but you can tell that's the same deer. It's a really cool deal to have the shed off your first deer. I'm not sure what, he's 110, nothing big. Another shed of mine. This deer is a shotgun deer. A buddy let me hunt on his farm. He had he had a lot of big deer on that farm, but I ended up killing him. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of all my deer. I love to whitetail deer hunt, so it doesn't really matter. This deer here, back in the day, I got him, and I've been a Buckmaster member for 20 years, or lifetime member, and I literally sent my picture in and got put in this magazine. This is September of '95, so that tells you how old I am or how old this is. So this deer means a lot to me too. And then this turkey, this is the reason this was just a Jake, but me and a buddy I work with, it was 2001. We went turkey hunting, and this field you see in this picture, we called them turkey clear across out of them woods, and we ended up doubling that morning, and it was just a cool hunt, fun experience. Brian Dahl and I hunted, and that's who we killed that. These are a couple smaller deer I've killed. Just love the whitetail hunt. Let's go back over here. This is this year's deer, which is my deer right here. So this is your deer of a lifetime. I mean, I've hunted this deer for 4 years. I've got pictures of him from 4 years of trail camera pictures. I mean, this deer he's 26 3/4 inch inside spread. He's got 12-inch G2s. He unofficially scores at like 190, and he's just got junk hanging off of his everywhere. He's got stickers, he's got the acorn, he's got a hole in the horn, he's got it all. I'm so proud of this deer. This is the one that'll be on that display, and I'll take fence post and no hunting signs or whatever, and he'll be standing here looking to the left. When you walk upstairs, it'll be a cool looking display.
On the day he got this deer, he's watched this deer for 4 years through trail cams. The day he got this deer, we're talking on the phone on the way to his stand, and I'm like, I got this feeling, you're gonna get that deer today. So just about an hour and a half later, my phone rings, it's still daylight, and I'm like, what's he doing calling me? It's still daylight, he's diehard, he stays in until it's time to get out. I couldn't understand a word he said. I didn't know if there was an emergency or what. Finally, he calmed down enough to tell me he got that deer. It's pretty amazing, pretty exciting.
I honestly don't remember the hour after I knew I'd shot him. I was just so full of adrenaline. He ended up being in the Ashland front page of the paper and a couple other papers. I'm just so proud of this deer in this moment. I mean, it means so much to me to finally kill my deer of a lifetime, so to speak. I'll probably never do it again. And he's just an awesome deer. I've got trail camera pictures like I told you of him. Last year, he literally had a drop tine. Let me find it here. He literally had a drop tine last year. That's 2018. There's 2018 with him sparring with another deer on a trail camera. This is a picture of him 2 years ago. If you look at these two here, that's his signature right here. He was big then, but he wasn't near as wide as he is here. And then the next year he had the drop tine. And then I've got pictures of him before that also. Let's see what else I got in here. Here's him with another buck. That was probably 2 years ago too, the same year. But I just got a lot of history with that deer. He was nocturnal. I've done everything in the world to try to narrow down his core area, figure out what he was doing, where his main bedding was, try to catch him, but he was nocturnal until the girls got him killed. He come out with one doe and there's three other does in front of me. So that's gonna be a cool full body mount. So I'm proud as hell that Cribs come to my house, and I hope all of you have a great deer season, great time. Thanks for coming. Go buy you an Exodus trail camera, and now get the hell out of my house.